alive. Don't worry. The meteor did not crash into Beyond the Summit Studios.
We survived.
The fire that was in Riverside the other day didn't spread to here. We're all hunky-dory, and we're getting back into the draft. So Mineski versus Execration, as you guys can see, we are a little bit further into it. The Lina came out, followed up by the Warlock, Jakiro, and now the Sven. And Rob is just running around, trying not to decapitate himself with fear.
Oh, Rob's going to join us. So what do you think about this Sven pick here, Rob? Great
I was
going
to comment on the power situation,
agree.
but yeah. So that meteor flew a little too close to us. We heard it outside, and I think what do they call it? The corona or something? That outside, that effect, that magical effect that, from Heroes.
Okay.
It just turned the power off for a moment, and so we're going to get it back on.
It was like an EMP.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, you guys have played Invoker before.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Anyways, that's a Sven. They're going to pick a carry. All right.
Adios,
thanks. That's about all I've got.
Carry. All right.
That was so good from Rob. Maybe I should step out and just let Rob take over here.
Take it over.
I could go into production room and play some meme videos.
Absolutely.
So we got our Quap versus Lina matchup. That's always fun. We've been seeing a lot of that this whole tournament, all the regions. I mean, these are kind of, two of the go-to mid-heroes, of course. And I will say, so we were talking about Mushi earlier, obviously, and, his play. And, again, I'm not here to call him out by any means. Who am I to do that? But I will say there was the one game that stood out to me in the group stages, casting Mineski, was him on Lina. He had some, I'll put a very curious decision-making moments where he was going in at moments without his team, almost as if he had an Aegis, kind of pushing a tower, and then he would just die, and then there'd be like, what just happened? So that's kind of, stuck in my brain right now, but I'm sure that won't be the same case here. Faceless Void, we're going to see a Mag Faceless Void again.
Yeah, this is the hero that I feel like he is able to have so much impact on. And honestly, looking at this lineup from Mineski, tons of team fight, potential for early push. Anything sticking out to you, Lumi?
For either lineup or just Mineski's?
Talk what you feel, baby.
Mineski has a very, very strong combo team fight. Obviously, Chronosphere with the Epicenter on top, with the Macro Pyro on top.
Yeah,
I think they're very well balanced as a lineup that could take objectives early with the Liquid Fire from Jakiro as well as a lineup that could go well into the late game with the Faceless Void transitioning from a third carry into even a #1 carry. So, yeah, I really like Mineski's draft. It has a clear-cut goal of when to fight, where to fight, as opposed to, I think, again, in their game 2, I feel like what made them struggle is perhaps the lack of understanding of the timing of their lineup.
I feel like Bloodseeker is still really good here if they want to run it on Arc, honestly. Like,
it just comes down to whether they understand Bloodseeker as a hero.
Right.
Which I don't know if they do.
But against Sven, like this melee core against Quap, it does seem really good. They're going to go for Jug. The stock and standard, it's still quite good as well.
The funny thing is that Sven is normally the counter pick to Jug. And it's interesting to see them having the confidence in the hero to pick it into it. I guess they're saying, look, we have Faceless Void, and we even, to a certain extent, have Liquid Fire to slow down the Sven. And we're going to use our Juggernaut to just be the guy that goes to the back line and pick off supports.
Magnus is banned. Never mind. I was sitting here this whole time being like, that's a good option. But no, he got banned, actually. So I think it's going to be an offlane here for Execration, of course. They don't got much time to decide this. Who are they going to go with here? They got their cores really taken care of, more of that utility. Yeah, they're going to go Omni Knight. Okay.
All right, well, final pick was the Omni, and I think that this is, well, a little bit of a departure from what we saw the previous 2 games, but certainly still has the potential to work. Breaky, get your thoughts on this draft. We got your predictions. Please get on here.
I think Omni Knight is a good final pick right there, as long as he doesn't get caught in these Faceless Voids. That's going to be really the key. If he doesn't get caught in the Faceless Voids, he's going to ideally be able to throw up that Repel, Guardian Angel, even if necessary, on said targets to save them. Outside of that, though, I do like Mineski's lineup as a whole. I think, though, the Wombo combo potential, the synergy, the Faceless Jakiro, Sand King, as Lumi was addressing there, Mushi on the Alita, and then Juggernaut in the hands of Arc. It just feels like one of those just well-put-together teams that's going to get the job done. So I'm going to lean towards Mineski 2-1 here.
All right, Lumi, give me your thoughts, man.
So I think Omni Knight's a fairly risky pick. Obviously, it gives Faceless Void a lot of trouble. I feel like in most of his Void games, what he does is like Chronos 2 people, and then Omni Knight just Guardian Angel, and suddenly turns your teamfight ultimate into an ultimate that you don't want to commit to, which is never something that you want to do as Faceless Void. With that said, though, you're picking Omni Knight into a natural Diffusal buyer, then your Guardian Angel could actually get just purged off by both Juggernaut and Faceless Void should he decide to go for a Diffusal play. So I actually think that the draft could lean either way. I think both of these drafts are comparable. With that said, I think Mineski is a better team, so I'm going to lean with Mineski here as well.
All right, I had Execration in my predictions, so I got to go with them. Doesn't matter what the draft is. But that's going to do it as we get ready to head into the actual game. Mineski facing off against Execration. Winner doesn't go to TI necessarily, but is at least going to be saved elimination for the moment and face off in the second best of 3 a little bit later today against Clutch Gamers. Exciting stuff. And Jaboogie just going to head out there, has both of the wards. We'll see if they run into each other. What are you excited for this game, Lumi? What's the big thing that you want to watch out for?
I want to see how Lumic plays on this Tusk. Is a very, very skill-intensive hero. You can use your snowball to actually save a lot of heroes. Now, I don't know whether you could snowball through a Chronosphere to pick up allies.
They changed that where you can't anymore. You can't pull them out of it any longer, as far as I'm aware.
You used to be able to, right? Like,
yeah, you did used to be able to.
So then that play, I was going to be excited for that play, but apparently it's not possible. So, but still, you could like snowball people out of stuns.
Yeah,
that's going to be what he's going to be looking towards to do.
Yeah. Mag going to the off lane, 8 tangos, 1 salve. I am also excited for that style of play because, well, even just in general, Tusk as a player or as a hero, it just has a lot of like big moments that you can make things happen. And as the smoke gank, this is interesting. They're going to run into Nando down here in the jungle, and the Burrow Strike could come out early, but it doesn't look like they're quite going to get into range. And well, they're aware of what's happening, and Mineski should be able to secure with this. Only 2 runes. I don't imagine that Mag will be able to snap this one away.
It's a lane swap, but Mag might even just walk up, pick up the rune, and jump away. In fact, that is going to be, oh my god, they get all 3 rune, Mag. I mean, they couldn't stop him, right? There's no stun here.
He's going to get blocked in. First blood missed in the bottom lane. They ended up going back in with Nando. What are you guys doing? And I guess Mag gets out, so...
Yeah, that's Nando making a mistake, right? Like,
why would you go back in there?
I don't know.
I guess he did. He only spotted the Sand King. That could have been what it was. And so because of that,
that's a support Sand King. If he's there, it's likely that there's more there.
Yeah.
Like, well, the game starting off super well here for Mineski. And I think this is a lineup that Execration can't fall too far behind out of the laning stage. They have heroes like Tusk and Warlock. And let's just put it this way: if they fall behind by like 3 to 4K out of the laning stage, this game is almost GG for Execration.
We'll have to keep our eyes on that. See if they can make it work for themselves. There's going to be a lot of pressure early here onto Nando, and Aura just trying to get anything for himself as far as ability to either move in and pull the wave or just stay alive. This is so much pressure, and Jakiro is constantly taunting him as well.
I mean, it's one of the most Cyrene taunt in the game, so I don't mind.
Cyrene?
Yeah, get some classical up in here.
What's Cyrene?
Am I saying it wrong?
I don't know what you're saying.
All right. Well, that's pretty normal as well.
Okay.
S-E-R-E-N-E.
Serene.
Serene. All right.
Okay, I'm with you. Oh, Mushi.
Okay,
oh,
that is a great shard. That will be the kill. This is really reminiscent when Fnatic picked Tusk and Pudge in the game, and it was a Bloodseeker mid for Kyo, and they just kept dumpstering the Lina mid, right? Lina as a mid laner has no way to ever escape from a Tusk shard. So glad to see that Lumic is working overtime on this mid lane.
Yeah, now this is like the standoff where who's going to stun who first, and it's the Invis rune picked up by Lumic, so the Tusk immediately tangos it off. Fine. It's perfectly fine. At least it's denying it away from the Sand King, which could have been a kill rune for James. That's actually quite big. Yeah,
but you know, both. Let's say the Sand King did get it. The Radiant would have knowledge that Sand King got it, right? So it's not like going to be a super big surprise.
Well, if he ends up like not showing for a long time, that means James always has to play more passively in lane, which could be a thing. But yeah, I agree. It probably wouldn't have ended up resulting in a kill. They've decided to switch up the lanes a little bit again. That Tusk that ended up roaming around. That means that the Sand King is sort of forced to come in here and help out Mushi a little bit more, so they can't apply as much pressure as they had earlier on. As RR maybe just going to get ran at here. The spin is already committed, and RR in trouble despite the heals is going to be killed off. He's just barely under tower, and Arc
Worth it though.
going to be punished.
Nicely played here. Nando pops the mango, gets the stun, and debated, I would say, because that was not worth it here for the Juggernaut.
Execration off to a hot start across the lanes. You got Queen of Pain that's really almost doubling up the CS right now of the Lina. 21-4 versus the 12-3, and part of that's the early kill, but still, look at this. He jumps in and showing no respect. We'll see if Mushi can get a good bit of damage out on him because of that. This looks like it's the case.
I think part of that was Mushi was forced to take Light Strike Array at level 3, and he was unable to harass as much and nuke for that much damage. I think the game is actually fairly even right now. You gotta remember that Mineski did start off with the first blood and 3 bounty runes, so you know the Lina kill kind of just evened things up a little bit. Top lane though, Raging Potato really showing the fact that hey, this is one of the few heroes that could actually go 1v1 up against a Faceless Void.
Ninja Boogie, they thought about fully committing for that one as they did bring in the Warlock for a moment, but Lee McKnight will get into range, and now with the Ninja Boogie wraparound, there's a chance that, yeah, he's going to have to head back down to the south. Can't go in to try and steal away the bounty rune.
I'll take your tribute.
It is also a haste top, which I believe both mids will see, and it's going to be Ninja Boogie that picks that one up. Oh, maybe
Blake,
not.
This could be a kill here. James surging forward here, and got more Scream Ninja needs to deny himself, would not get it. And James is, well, beginning that snowball. That's kind of what he did in game 2 with the Queen of Pain as well. This is a pretty bad sign here for Mineski.
And the fact that Mushi had to walk all the way back to base as well.
Yep.
Like, this is really bad at this moment. I mean, you talk about, like, First Blood going to Mineski, that's fine, but you look at the CS, and it's very clear that, at least for now, Execration are out-laning them. But as you said, that's something that they... Do you think that that's what they need to do in this game to stay ahead, or do you think that Execration are fine, or that Mineski are fine with this?
They need to have a good lane for the Quap, and they need to have a good lane for the Omni Knight, which I think both checkboxes have been ticked. Like, Raging Potato is shoving Mag back. And the reason I say that both those heroes need to have a good lane is they don't really play well from behind. And they do need quite a bit of time to actually get online. So, good thing that they do have those two heroes going on. Mushi, back. Gonna eat a lot of pressure back here as he tries to do it.
Yeah, always a threat there with James having level 6, but did not actually end up skilling his ulti, instead taking more points in Scream of Pain, as well as the dagger. Wants to make sure that he can spam out that wave. Maybe if he had Sonic Wave there, he ends up trying to go for the kill, but doesn't end up happening.
Something very reminiscent of game 1 was, I did comment on the fact that Execration to me is doing a very poor job stacking the jungle, right? They have Sven as their core. We're the Mansion stacks. Lumik is spending a lot, there's the first one being done just now. Lumik spending a lot of his time securing the lane for James, but it is coming in a real cost where Sven is going to have a weaker economic game down the line.
Mag taking a good bit of damage here, but the Invis rune was picked up by Lumik. I believe this was scouted by Ninja Boogie, so they realized that this could be a play in towards mid. So sticking around, making sure that he can stay in an area to keep him alive. Ninja Boogie's only level 2 though at this point. This Sand King is very under-leveled.
It goes back to what you said earlier. They, you know, heroes invis, but they still have to play very defensively because the kill attempt is quite powerful there. Bottom side, Arc.
Yeah, in the meantime,
the spin just got used, so.
I mean, he's able to get away with that one. If you are not only not stacking up the Ancients consistently, only getting 1 in 6 minutes, and then on top of that, your Juggernaut on the enemy team is stealing the large can stacks. Not really going to be able to play that economic game as much as you might want for the Sven.
They are getting a lot out of this Omni Knight though, so he's going to open things up with a mech. Can even think about going back for a Hand of Midas if he feels comfortable going into the mid and late game like that.
Alright, we'll see. Serene taunting of the Jakiro. So keep on wanting to pressure in here on Nando. Do you feel like Mineski are playing this correctly by and large? The sort of laning setup that we've seen, and constantly having the Tusk roam around?
So you know, the other obvious laning situation is to put a defensive trialing versus the Omni Knight, and then put the Mag faces Void in the safe lane. I think the trade-off is fine. They're losing top, but I think they're gaining a little bit more on the bottom as well. So they feel like it's more important to slow down Nando.
All right.
And I think that's a fair choice. They're also getting quite a bit of damage with Liquid Fire onto that tier 1 tower. So that's also like the nice thing that they're getting.
Their little shards there. They're defending the rune against the Lina. He's going to have to pick it up now. So Quap not able to steal that one away. It looks like James wants to make that rotation down towards the bottom. Ninja Boogie is going to be stunned up. They have a Blink Sonic Wave. They want to go for it, but heads off to the south side. Is going to be able to get taken down. Just right on the tip of the range. Oh, and Raging Potato doesn't look like he's going to get ran down either. He's going for that early mechanism build. He is going to be such a big hero for his team a little bit later on.
For sure. It just makes those early Chronospheres not going to be as effective. In game 1, Mag, basically every chrono he spent in the first like 20-minute mark just got him at least 1 or 2 kills every single time. And if Raging Potato could mirror this Face's Voice movement, he could just nullify all of these Chronospheres.
Well, in the meantime, it's continuing just to be a dominant CS show into the favor of the Radiant.
Yep.
There have been a couple of kills, and you can see the net worth is also reflecting this. So
the biggest key factor for me is that Execration is doing more at every portion of the map with less heroes. And it's, you know, they're getting more CS like you said, but the level of differential is also coming into big. You talked about Ninja Boogie being under level. Like Tuska's doing the exact same roles, right? Yeah. But he's managed to find one level further. And I do believe they are also going to start stacking in jungle and getting more economic that way. So,
ooh, there's a big old couple of stacks here in the off-lane jungle as well from Mushi. Looks like he's going to be able to steal these ones away and get himself maybe in towards his first item. Nonetheless, Nando still remaining tall, and I think that with this laning setup, you would have loved to be able to take this tower by now. But the Sven has just stood strong and continued to see us under tower, have himself a grand old time. And it's not like Arc can really even go in for any type of kill potential because they don't have the damage to do it against all this maxed out Warcry.
Yeah. The funny thing is that I think Omni Knight might actually take the top tower before Jakiro takes the bottom one. And this is just a guy that's, I guess, just pushing out the wave with his buckler activation and using the purification.
Why not? Easy peasy.
Queen is going to rotate up top. Go for a kill. I don't think they're going to get the kill, but they're likely going to get that tower.
I mean, they have a regen rune on Quap as well, and yeah, as you mentioned, this tower is going to end up falling before the bottom tier 1 does. I believe Quap does have a TP, so can come down here and defend this bottom tower if they can get into range, and here comes the TPs. They're actually going to already drop the Omni Slash. That's not nearly enough damage to take down Nando, maybe with Mushi there, but no, they're going to turn. They're going to try and fight. They get the stun before he can TP out, and now Mushi also in trouble. They snowball dodge the Light Strike Array. Everything going right for Execration, and on the alternative side, Mineski looking sheepish.
Well, there's the reason why you don't pick Juggernaut into Sven, right? That Omni Slash took 25% of Nando's HP. It was a joke. Warcry just blocked all of that. I guess the silver lining is that the siege unit in the lane did take down the tower last hit. I think Raging Potato was trying to deny the tower, but the last hit denied her. So there was that, but still, it was a very costly where they lost Lina and the Juggernaut. Not worth.
It's a rough one indeed. So level 9 right now, it's a 3,000 net worth lead at right around the 12-minute mark, and looking like there's going to be continued pressure coming out as Raging Potato, actually after finishing off the Buckler, is going to go back for the Midas.
I like this more. Like, you want your lane so hard. The Faceless Void Chronosphere would not even be a big factor.
Burrow Strike onto 2. The Epicenter's there as well. Oh, he would have loved an Ice Path. That's not going to do any damn damage at all. Lemic running away. They drop the Warlock ulti, and he's repelled as well. A Walrus Punch one time just to back arc up. It is going to be a Shrine, and the Golem should be just sent away. But again, Epicenter down, as well as the Warlock ulti. Kind of an even trade.
Yeah, actually that looked much cooler than it was actually is, because it was a 4v5 where Mineski only had 4 heroes. They forced out the longer cooldown ultimate, which is the Chaotic Offering, and Mag was free farming up top. So I actually think Mineski got slightly ahead from that fight.
Yeah. All right. James now looking to try and stack again for his carry, although Mag is going to run into him, and he has Chronosphere available. So if Execration want to come and defend this, it might be a bit harder of a defense since they don't have that Warlock ulti.
Yeah. Nor do they have a mech. This is where perhaps the greed, the Midas will punish them.
And he already bought that, and whoa, the Chronosphere is going to connect onto 2 now. That's going to be a dead Tusk. No way to get out of that one. Raging Potato trying to turn this back around. He's not taking any damage from this. Repel is going to keep him alive as well. Ninja Boogie starting to drop low. The Fatal Bonds onto 4 separate heroes. He's going to keep them back, and Sonic Wave. My God. Right. Almost able to take down Mag, but not quite.
Well, no, it was
did it kill off
tactical Sonic Wave because it killed off Ninja Boogie? Or no, was he already dead before
Yeah, he was already dead before
just
that,
kidding.
I think.
That was a dominant Sonic Wave. It did nothing. So that Chronosphere did go for the kill, and honestly, I thought they would have gotten it onto the double kill, but that Omni Knight was so damn tanky.
Look at this. He's running down Arc, just hits him with the Purification, and
Arc could Magic Wand and Omni Slash him.
Yeah, there's a creep wave there. Maybe trying to bait this one. I won't end up going for it. It is going to be the Queen of Pain just jumping away. Heals is off. Whatever debuffs were applied to him there, the time dilation.
Well, very similar start to game 2 where Execration did very well in the lanes and they're looking to maintain that lead. But I think Mineski's lineup has a very strong composition to even play from behind, right? When you have a wombo combo lineup, if you get that magical 3-man Chronosphere with, you know, all the right ultimates, the Macro Pyres, Dragon Slave, LSA, Epicenter, you can just win a team fight off the back of that. So Mineski fans out there should be slightly worried, but it's not GG anytime soon.
Yeah. And now you do start to get into this other set of abilities here for the Jakiro. Built towards the Ice Path is going to be sharded off in a quick kill. But as you start to ramp up those extended stuns and disables, it will become a larger and larger problem for Execration. Particularly against the mainly, you know, Sven as their damage. Like, you have other avenues for it with like the Queen of Pain and stuff and Sonic Wave, but until she really starts to get into items, that's on a really long cooldown, and you're dependent upon Sven being able to deal a lot of damage. If he's constantly being stunned and kited, it could be a rough one.
Well, I mean, Sven is going to be your ultimate damage source, but right now they're getting a lot, even from, let's say, Fatal Bond or Ice Shards, because we're not that late into the game where these magic nukes are falling off. I think the bigger thing is the lack of damage from Mineski. Like, where is it really coming from? You have a level 1 Omni Slash, so that's not a lot. Lina is very, very behind in terms of item. And of course, Mag is pretty much just a walking Chronosphere. You don't have a big damage source to back that up either. This is going to be like a 3-man gank for a Tusk, and if he snowballs this Chrono, it's going to be rough.
Or if even, oh, he's not going to be able to pull Raging Potato out of it at the very least. So Mag just going to end up time walking away. They make that big rotation and not able to find anything from it. A little bit disheartening, I'm sure. And with Sand King TPing away, are they grouping up for a smoke play now?
I think they wanted to gank bottom to begin with, so if they clean up this creep wave and then smoke again, would not surprise me. Because they're looking to use this Chronosphere. That's something that Mag has been trying to do every time he plays a hero. Every time Chrono off cooldown and he's not using it, he feels like, I should be doing something.
I think they're worried about the Warlock ulti again. Oh, nicely done by the Warlock. Oh, Mag, he's in there. I think he's still fine, though. James jumps forward, gets the courier, and well, he's still going to be fine here as James is going to get repelled by the Omni Knight. Fine and dandy as they are going to chase down Arc, catch him for the moment. They have the Tusk as Walrus Punch there as well. Stun going to come out, but the War Cry keeping Limak alive, and now kind of body blocking him. There's going to be the Sonic Wave. Arc dead again and unstoppable for Queen of Pain.
Pretty stylish dodge of the Stormhammer, but ultimately it didn't matter as the numbers advantage were there. I didn't catch whether spin TP was on cooldown. It must have been, so. Oh, he can't spin TP because the punch would have canceled it, so yeah, he was just dead. There was nothing he could have done.
A lot of BKB disables that go through BKB in this game with both the Warlock and the Tusk in this one. This is feeling quite tough right now for Mineski, figuring out ways for them to take the fights. It really does feel like when Warlock ulti is up, it's hard for them to go into it, even with Chronosphere, just because of that lack of damage you were alluding to.
Yep. Macro Pyre does do a little bit, but you know, you're trying to kill through things like Purification, Mech, as well as Heal from Warlock. There's a lot of like sustain here from Execration. And if I'm Execration, I'm going to take every objective I can from the map. Going to start with Roshan, probably with the remainder out of tier 2s. All Mineski could do at this point is just to like split push, get the waves shoved out, and hopefully delay the game.
And it's going to get to the point where you have to chrono the Omni Knight like right at the start. Otherwise, you're just not going to win the fight in a lot of ways, and probably drop the Laguna Blade onto him as well. You
need to chrono him, and you need to front load all that damage to kill him. Because if you don't kill him in the chrono, the Raw comes down, the mech comes through, and you're not killing anybody. So it's a very big risk. Remember when they chrono past the tier 1 mid tower, when they were pushing mid? They didn't get the mech. They didn't get the kill onto the Omni Knight, right? And then what resulted after was they didn't get the tower push. They lost a couple of heroes on the way out. So each moment going forward, that Omni Knight to me gets harder and harder to kill as he itemizes more and more for that phase of the fight. He is done with that Guardian sweep.
Well, there's going to be the spin TP away. Arc not wanting to get caught out by the whole assortment of characters, and that is going to be another deny on the tower. So all of the tier 1s now down across the map for both teams. It starts to get to that position where you just have to keep dodging fights from Mineski.
Yep.
And hopefully, I guess, hold out for high ground. Like, what's the next power peak for the Mineski draft?
Double Diffusal Blade. If you have Chronosphere and then Guardian Angel comes through, you diffuse whoever you're gonna try to kill. Then you're starting to have some shot. Diffusal Blade also get rid of things like Warcry.
Oh God. Oh Jakiro. He's not taunting anymore.
Also, the other item that they're waiting for is, hold on, Mushi in a lot of trouble trying to save through with the Burrow Strike, but Nando comes in on the backline. The Shard actually blocking him out, but the Cleave, though, is going to get the job done. Creative play here by Nando is going to work out. Lumic in a lot of trouble. Burrow Strike comes through. They do get the 1 kill. This is a pretty good area for Mineski to fight. Nando just still going in. Nice 2-man Chronosphere. Arc has the Omni Slash, but he doesn't want to actually Omni Slash Nando because of the Warcry. Now they go on Raging Potato. Omni Slash now flies through, but actually the bounce is somewhat unlucky. They want to get Raging. Raging running away. Can he heal himself? He's being held by Warlock. Guardian Angel comes through. He outplays him. Looks like LSA will finally take him down, but now the upheaval as well as the right click should be able to bring Mushi down. Blinking forward, blocking off the path of Mushi. Ice Path now keeping him alive. Mushi going back into the slow, and finally the Honorable Sudoku is going to give a little bit of heal to Rior.
Oh, no.
At the end of the day, I think Mineski lost like 5 heroes to 2.
They lost Mushi twice. Like, he died at the start of that fight to the Cleave that you were talking about. And at the end of the day, like, you lose him, and then you end up getting a ton of regen on all your other cores. But
oh God, he has 6 charges left on the Bloodstone.
He just finished that. Also, the Omni Knight getting the Greaves off before the Chronosphere went down, and then, like, Sand King wasn't quite there on time with the Epicenter. It was a whole lot of problems, and it really speaks to the fact that you have to get things done in the Chronosphere, and Mineski have to be the ones that initiate. They can't get initiated upon, like what happened there with Mushi getting found in the mid. And you can't blame the guy for it. Like, you're moving in from your tier 2 tower. You don't expect them up on high ground, but just didn't end up working out.
Oh, I think a part of that was also they lost Rior when the fight broke out. Remember, you said he wasn't taunting anymore? Yeah. Had they had a Macro Pyre in that Chronosphere, like, he wasn't going to kill a lot of people with the Macro Pyre because it's only level 1, but it would have added a sizable amount of damage. That would have made the fight a little bit easier.
God, he's just going to go in. Nando found himself a couple. They're caught there in the shards, and the right click's coming through. Mushi gone again. He's 4 Bloodstone charges. He literally just bought this item, and now Execration. They've got all the sustain in the world. There's no macro pyre. There's no chronosphere for 7 more seconds, and honestly, Juggernaut isn't even here. James diving forward. Rior just wants to stay by the shrine, but it's not going to happen. He too is going to go down. Mineski getting bodied in game number 3.
Man, these ice shards, every time he throws one out, it's a kill because you're looking at the hero that's getting hit by the ice shard. Jakiro has no mobility. Lina has no mobility. This could be early racks. We're going to see a rotate around Chronosphere with the Epicenter on top. Pretty good stuff so far here. Snowball rolling through, not saving anybody. 2 dead immediately. The Ice Shard now trying to block a couple of people out. Numic getting healed back up. Lina coming through. Lina with the LSA and Dragon Slave will get 1 more. 3 kills protecting the racks. Raging Potato will eat an Omni Slash. He does have a TP out, but I don't think he'll make it out. Okay, walking through. Maybe he could just TP. Yeah, he's going to TP out. Burrow Strike, no. Clips it. Make that 4. All right. Don't call it a comeback yet, but Mineski staying alive.
Yeah, that was really close. And I think the other thing there, too, was that there was a moment where it looked like Omni could have just repelled and TP'd, and I guess that maybe he was thinking about trying to save it for somebody else. And whatever the case ended up happening, they overstay their welcome. They do get the Tier 3 tower, which is at least something for them. But it's a lot to throw away. And
but they did get the Tier 3 tower.
That's why I said they did get the Tier 3 tower, but it's a lot to throw away nonetheless. Ninja Boogie, level 12, and he made a big play with that Epicenter. They have to have that type of team fight over and over again.
Yes. No more mistake to be made, and one of the mistakes happening right now is, well, I mean,
you have to do that, though. You got to push out these lanes. It sucks that he ends
saw
up
the
going
quap,
down.
right? He could have. I think what he wanted to is to Burrow Strike over the tree lines,
right,
and just got orchestrated.
Well, nonetheless, Execration, no more Chronosphere up for another 39 seconds. It's their time to go yet again, and Mushi has been able to build back up the Bloodstone charges. He doubled them again after going down so low.
There you go.
Mag, he has a TP as well, so he can get back there. Still 25 seconds away. I think that they can fully commit to this. They just need to make sure that if they do, they have an exit strategy. Nando with the DD, walking forward, level 18, so 3 points up in God's Strength. They do not want to come and test this guy.
Damage right now. Look at him just chunking these Raxes. Yeah, those set of Raxes are down. They don't have Glyph anymore.
All right, Mushi looking for the opening. Light Strike Array is going to connect. Arc walking forward, have the War Cry, and now just going to waddle on out of there.
Rior showing off his APM by pinging the bejesus out of that sigil. Says somebody, for the love of God, kill that damn thing.
All right, so 12K net worth, 17-10. And it is feeling, again, like Execration's the ones in the driver's seat in this game. How do you feel like it is? I mean, he doesn't have Blink, though. If you chrono Nando here, I don't think that this is going to be good enough.
Yeah, his team is not here. He activated his BKB before as well. What a shard! And now Nando says, you want a man fight? I'm not going to fight you right now. I'm out for now.
Mushi's still chasing this. I don't think that this is where you want to be right now, Mineski.
Oh, James is in the fight.
They're walking forward. There's the jump forward stun. Not going to come out a good Blade Fury away, but James still there. He's been able to catch now onto that Sand King. He's gone. A pretty good Light Strike Array and Laguna Blade onto James, but Yule Scepter back out. And now Mushi, nowhere really left to go. They got eyes on him, and Mushi dead yet again. Maybe gave his life for his team. Is he actually? I think he's still dead. Yeah, he's dead. He has to deny himself. There was the dagger on him.
Well, that's Chrono down. Now is another lane of Rax if I'm Execration.
Well, at least the Tier 2 towers, which are still up there on both of the lanes. And I mean, Mineski is doing a good job of keeping these lanes pushed out, but the draft and the group up 5-man of Execration is just so strong. They didn't even need they held on to the Warlock ulti in that fight, you know? They've been so good about making sure that they get the most out of these ultis.
Yeah. I think the big thing looking back at this draft is Mineski's decision to last pick a Juggernaut. I've talked about how Warcry counteract this hero, and I felt like Juggernaut in itself wasn't dealing enough damage. I wonder if there could have been a better last pick. That could have worked a little bit better with a Chronosphere as well.
I mean, this is sad. You put the ward on top of your tower because you know it's going down. I mean, there's nothing else you can do, but it hurts.
Did they have Glyph up yet? No, they're not using it if they do. And now here comes James with the repel going straight on Jakiro. One-man Sonic Wave, and looks like the Orchid will take him down. Everyone off of this tower.
They kill the healing ward too, and they're just gonna jump in. Arc is gonna, you know, bravely walk forward. The epicenter doesn't really do all that much. Maybe now being able to take down the Tusk, but the Greaves come out. There's the repel, the purification, the snowball forward. Mushi caught yet again. Is going to light strike Ray himself, just trying to focus down Limik. The Tusk is all that he wants in this world, but it's not going to happen. And, well, the Chronosphere drop now onto Sven. He's still so freaking tanky. Raging Potato there as well. They've still been able to hold on to this, and the Burrow Strike to turn it. It's not nearly enough. GG is called, and Mineski are going to be knocked out of contention for TI. Execration versus Clutch in the lower bracket finals.
Wow. Well, I did say that I think Mineski was the better team, but the laning stage did not go their way. The 1v1 between the Omni Knight and Mag definitely won it the Omni Knight's way. The tri-lane wasn't enough to shut down Nando, and I think the clutcher was the mid lane, right? Mushi just got killed a couple of times there. And James just went off again.
Yeah. This Queen of Pain is something that Clutch gamers are going to need to contend with. And honestly, it's sort of a weird position, because do you ban out the Puck? Do you ban out the Quap? You don't really want to have to ban out one of those, because that means the other team can probably just steal up Alina. Talk to me a little bit about it, Lumi. Where do you see this next series going, Clutch versus Execration? Do you favor one team over the other quite heavily?
I think the playstyle of Execration matches up extremely well against Clutch. Because if you think about it, Execration plays a very similar style to Fnatic, where they come out of the gate just roaring, doing extremely well out of the laning stage. And that's what Clutch like really, really struggled, right? In Game 1 and Game 2, they just both fell very far behind right out of the lanes. If Execration could play that tight out of the laning stage, then they should be able to actually 2-0 Clutch.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to play that tight, because Execration, this is a game where they play really well. Mm-hmm. The game that we just casted, it was some clowny stuff, and it just, like, Execration, are they going to